a real good reason.
Personally, I think Cammy could do a better job as president.
I think we should have Cammy be president. She'd be a lot better.
That's where I think we're at.
Do it again.
That's where I think we're at.
So we got in on the meeting about
So we're over at the Capitol. We'll be over here, Minnesota Capitol, for a little while. I keep forgetting.
Well, I hope that you identify them. I hope they'll be exposed if they do body
No.
So guys, I really tried to be on time today. I had my car running 20 minutes to noon. I was going to hop in the car quarter to noon and be here. And then
We're over here meeting in the street
the
because
snowplow guy came at quarter to and he wanted to talk with me. So we talked for like 10 minutes, about the association, about his contract, and about what's going on in the association.
Sure. So anyway, so she wants to sit
don't
in
look at my messy car.
So she wants to sit in her car.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, we're having
I
her
was
thing.
just being lazy.
Yeah, and the car's nice and toasty.
Well, look at Bruce.
So then I was...
Bruce is out, he's out, we're out holding space on the road. This is the first time we've ever done this. Bruce is holding space. That's what he's doing. Look
at your chair.
We're black.
You have your chair right over
I got my chair sitting over here.
And so I didn't get to leave till 5 minutes to noon as usual.
Holding space.
It seems like every week I'm 5 minutes late. But we have a grace period. We can give us at least 5 minutes grace period.
So we're over at the Lindbergh statue. I can't tell if I'm visible or not. We're not going to have a lot of people today, which is fine.
Let's see.
Instacart. So we should go there. Why do you
Should we choose this bench seat over here? I got a place.
So we're gonna have one of these days where it's cold out here.
got a place for anyone who wants to sit here too.
We get a visitor, maybe.
Yeah, that's true. And by the way,
We're basically friendly.
the person you invited here at Jennings, every time I email him, the email comes back and say there's no address that exists with that. No email that exists with that address, so I'm unable to contact Jennings. I don't have his phone number, nothing. So today I brought my Bible. Lord willing, we can read the Word of God, and I brought an extra Bible if anyone needs a Bible. I brought it if you'd like a everyday Bible. And then I brought a treat for all of us. And then I brought Christmas carols, if we're doing Christmas caroling today. And then I brought the handout that I gave out at Roseville Central Park this week. I wrote up a new, 2 days ago, I wrote up a new message. I handed out, talked to people. And the Lord arranged for me to talk to some people. And then I brought a movie for Cammie.
A movie?
Yeah. Brought a movie for Cammie.
What kind of movie? Is it one of these sketchy movies or is it a good one?
I don't know how sketchy it is, but it's a lot of.
What's the movie called?
It's called The 10 Commandments.
Oh, okay. It's not the 15 Commandments?
No. We're going with the real stuff.
You've seen the 15 Commandments, haven't you, Bruce?
I haven't watched it.
It's pretty funny.
Oh.
He comes out.
I'm trying to find it.
Well, this is Bible-based, but there is some Hollywood, right? There is some Hollywood in there.
Ooh.
This one.
That looks like the one I sent you.
Go get it.
You notice.
So he comes out with his 3 tablets.
Cup delivery.
So he comes out with his 3 tablets, and he's here to proclaim the 15 commandments. And then he drops one by accident. And then, the 10 commandments.
I couldn't find it on Netflix. I tried to find it on Netflix. I couldn't find it.
The Charlton Heston?
Yeah, you can see.
Yeah, that's the original
I
one.
take, this is like not the cheap case, this is the more sturdy one. You can see there's hardly a scratch.
Oh, that's nice.
Because I keep my videos like a collection.
Oh, good.
Not that I have to, but I just did that way.
Okay.
And this one's got the movie. And there's 2 discs because it's like, 3.5 hours.
Some of those movies were pretty long, yeah.
This is a really long one.
Okay.
But it's pretty well done, and it gives you a better idea of, the kind of...
Cool.
When,
I feel special.
When Israelites were enslaved with Egypt, it really dramatizes that pretty well. The slavery, what it was like for the Israelites.
So how many years ago was that we had slavery of the Israelites?
Well, it was before Christ.
For
so
sure,
it'd be
yeah.
over 2,000 years ago.
So how many years ago?
Time of Moses. Boy.
It was more than 2,000 years ago.
More than 2,000.
The pyramids are not hugely more than 2,000 years ago, though. Moses was. I'm not sure what year exactly that was, but it was maybe, I don't know, 2,000-3,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And slavery's been around.
At least.
Slavery's been around. Slavery's still around. Unfortunately.
Look at human trafficking as
Still
that is
around.
modern day slavery.
It is.
And the U.S. says we have 300,000 sex slaves, children sex slaves in the United States.
We have them in Brooklyn Center. We have this stuff going on all over the metro. They're exploiting kids especially, and it's not just girls. It's boys too, and they get exploited because they are homeless basically, and they're basically going from friend's house to friend's house, and the only real regular meals they get are at their friend's house and at school. They don't get any other real regular meals, and they don't even have a regular place to stay. You know, and they're real friendly more often than not because they're staying at all these people's houses all the time. And you know, that's just reality. You know, so
Yeah.
and sometimes they're homeless not so much because of they're homeless, but because things at home are really bad. You know, for them, they're going through a really tough time or whatever. You know.
Sometimes it's rebellion, but there's usually something going on at home that makes it difficult for them to stay home.
Yeah. Cammie here, she's cold. Right?
I'm good.
Good. So what happened for you? What happened for you this week, Cammie? I should switch over to a different one. This chair is super low. I'm gonna go to my live for talking to people.
Want to go to the bench here?
No, the other one, that one probably gets just overall most likely, I think. It might not, I don't know. I think it does. It gets everybody.
What's that one then? Video?
Well, I got lots of them, so I can run as many as 3 at a time.
Pink.
This is orange and pink, and I got black.
Oh, yeah. He was in a fraternity.
Oh, you're laughing at me, huh?
A fraternity.
Diana's here.
I like being in a fraternity. It was good.
Guess.
My fraternity brothers were calling me last
I
night.
could be wrong.
So you don't like being in?
Why are we watching sports? Are we supposed to be boycotting them?
This is my football team.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bison.
I'm boycotting all football.
Are we supposed to be boycotting all sports?
Why?
Why are they making more money than we are?
Well, my Bison, I don't think I don't get paid. I think they're college football. They just, you know. So this is orange. This is orange. What I'm talking on right now. That's pink. I got black. I code mine by color. And Diana's showing up. I thought Diana don't like us anymore. Good chores to do. No, I'm not gonna shovel itself. You gotta take care of the ladies.
Huh?
Are the ladies grumpy this morning?
What ladies?
Okay, your chickens.
These two here.
Oh, the chickens?
Yeah, you got chickens. They're
I
squawking.
don't know.
Now
They're
you're talking about
staying on their roosts. They're not coming out.
So the chickens are squawking and
Hey, where's the eggs? They're not laying any more eggs?
well,
No, they're taking a break again.
so did you see all the talk
man.
about with Raul talking about those chicken eggs?
Oh,
No.
yeah.
He spent a lot of time. He apparently never knew that you don't have to refrigerate fresh laid eggs
Oh, as long as you don't wash them, yeah.
as long as you wash them.
Yeah.
But once you wash
That's
them,
what they do in England.
once you wash them, you take that kind of waxy
Take that
coating.
protective coating
That,
off.
that coating is, and people wash them because the eggs look dirty, right? They look dirty.
They shouldn't ever look dirty if you have a clean nest, and you should always have a clean nest.
Well, they usually have
Not
little
taking care of
bits.
your chickens right if your eggs are dirty.
Well, they
Really?
okay. Most of the time, they have little bits of straw on them and
Oh, you just blow that off.
blow it off. Yeah. My son brings home. My son raises like 600 chickens and a whole bunch of turkeys.
Yeah.
Wow.
He does lighting design for birds, so agricultural birds. And what they do is they design these lights with the idea of making the chickens and turkeys happy.
Oh.
And apparently they believe that the lighting that has the proper light spectrums and stuff that makes the birds happy reduces their stress, and then they are more productive in growing and laying eggs and stuff. It's kind of like the idea of the happy cow.
Yeah.
You know, farmers are always putting happy cows up, you know, which are those
Yeah.
big brushes.
Yeah, natural light is really good for them. I have windows in my coop so that they have some natural light coming in too.
Yeah.
Well, from my understanding is, for the most part, they don't use natural light too much, partly because it's Minnesota, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah, they are gonna, because is seasonal too.
But they've extensively studied the lighting spectrum, and they figured out which pieces of the spectrum the birds like the most. And
Probably the grow lights. I should take some of my plant grow lights out there.
he knows. They got all kinds of papers and stuff that they did all kinds of stuff on this stuff.
Yeah.
To make the birds happier.
I suppose.
Yeah.
You know. And then of course they raise.
Well, they have them for people too. You know, there's those lights you can put next to your reading desk. You know that
Make you happier.
Spectrums of light. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a disorder from people that don't get their correct light spectrum. How many frickin' cameras do we have going here today?
Just 3 too many, probably.
This one's live. That one's live. That one's just to tape.
So
I got 3 cameras that I can easily run.
Wow.
We got Robert's pink case camera out here.
Hey, you know what happened when I?
Cammy has a sort of a pinkish maroon case camera.
But he's like Reagan. He's
And then Robert's got
colorblind.
his black.
No,
and
I'm not
orange
colorblind.
case
Like
camera.
Reagan.
You know
I
what?
always tease him because he was in a fraternity.
That was his motto.
She doesn't like fraternities.
Just giving you crap because you're in a fraternity.
I turned down membership in a fraternity many years ago.
Your sorority, you mean?
A sorority, yeah.
Yeah, she was trying out for the
was in it.
fraternity.
Yeah.
Which sorority was
in
it?
a fraternity.
I can't remember. I got a perfect 4.0 grade average one semester, and they wanted me to join their sorority, and I said, no, too busy.
Too busy to be however they break you in. and
Robert said yes to
risk
it.
your life.
Oh, that's okay. That's
Wow,
what-
she probably would have wanted to go to my parties all the time.
I wasn't at that point in my life. I was a working adult at that time, and I didn't have time for that.
I think fraternity was good. You know, when we had parties, 1,000 people parties.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
We did. You know, you guys probably, I don't know if you guys have been to my house for the parties I have at my house, but here, they're political parties, and we'll have 100 people, 200 people. The parties at my fraternity house were enormous. They were, 10 times bigger than most of my house parties. Because at my house, we don't pack them in like sardines, and we also don't have 22 kegs and stuff like that. But the political parties in my house are kind of fun though. So.
Did you guys talk about that thing at the Capitol that we went to? Did you like?
You should talk about
No,
that. Hearings.
the hearing.
Oh, no. I mentioned it, but we haven't talked about it yet.
So Diana could talk about
Yeah,
it.
well, no, I mean, some people just were complaining because I didn't put a good enough description on the videos I was sharing out. Like, I'm supposed to tell them everything that's in the video before they'll go they're looking at it.
There's transcripts on it.
Just by saying that it was, hearing on
Senator Warren Limmer.
the hearing on sentencing guidelines wasn't enough description.
Well, there was some powerful speakers there. People that
I know.
they get you crying.
I tried to tell people that, and was that about Lisa? Well, yeah, it wasn't just.
It wasn't about Lisa Hansen.
No, it wasn't. As I said, no, it was about sentencing guidelines for everybody, for everything.
They're basically wanting to reduce penalties for offenders offending while they're out on probation.
Right.
Now the deal is you're out on probation,
And you violate again.
and the judge tells you, you know what, you're supposed to be in jail for 5 years, but we'll put you out for the last 3 years on probation, or whatever the judge decides.
Yeah.
But that's conditional upon you not reoffending.
Right.
Well, now you reoffend.
And they want to ignore it.
They want to ignore the fact that you reoffended, and part of the idea of giving people second chances is letting them go out on probation, but taking away consequences is not the same thing.
No, that's wrong.
And people who reoffend all the time, especially, and the big stuff in the testimony on whatever day it was we were at there, was they were really worried about sex offenders and people like that.
Yeah, those were the biggest ones. And a lot of the people that were testifying were victims of people that were out early because of the leniencies that we have here in Minnesota. They weren't their first victim. They were like their 10th or 12th victim, victimized, and they're completely repeat offenders that they were victimized by. People coming into their house, holding a gun to their child's head, holding a gun to them, and robbing them, and this wasn't their first offense, and they were let out early, and why should they be given leniency? They just keep on doing the same thing. They don't learn.
Well, if the consequences mean nothing, then
they know, hey, I'm just going to get spun right back out the door. I don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not worried about that. Just that Trump said that many Jewish people don't really support Israel. That made the front page of Yahoo.
Yeah.
And it's actually true. A lot of Jewish people do not support Israel's sovereignty. Just like there's left-wingers in our U.S. government, there's left-wingers in the.
So what else do we have,
Israelis.
Diana? Any other stuff we had this week that you remember?
Oh, what did we do? Oh, well, we went to that child protection PAC.
Oh yeah, PAC.
They established the PAC.
It was like last Saturday.
So
that is separate from the Child Protection League.
Yep, Child Protection League. So
Yeah.
Cammie was at that one. What happened at that one?
Basically, they want to get the word out and tell everyone about child trafficking and get out to other places. And did she go to schools and get tell people about the signs of child trafficking and stuff? And
Eric Lucero.
Yeah, and it was really good to have Eric Lucero talking about the different legislation and stuff that he's been bringing up to help with this, the problems that we have going on, and how we really do need to step up and protect our children. I mean, it's and we need more people like Eric Lucero that are bringing up this sort of legislation and not just shoving this stuff aside, and actually bringing
child protection,
bringing notice to what's going on, and how bad it really is. I mean, our media is really doing a poor job of keeping people informed of what's happening.
Yeah, and to have that many 300,000 children in human trafficking, to have that many, there's people in government, people in social media, leaders, powerful people in corporations, in media and social media and government that are facilitating this human trafficking. You can't have that many slaves in this country without high levels of corruption in places. For example, the producer of CNN was in the news this week.
Oh yeah.
And he was charged with, he brought a 9-year-old girl in and apparently he's worked with other kids teaching them that they're here to be sexual objects for our pleasure. It's called grooming. Grooming them to use kids for their own pleasure. And LGBT, when I went to the human trafficking meeting in Roseville
this week,
which was several years ago. And when kind of experts or knowledgeable people in this field in different areas, bringing them out, identifying how they got into it, they were saying that these groomers, they tell little kids what they want to hear, or youth what they want to hear. You're beautiful, and tell them all the things.
Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate
all
it.
the things they ever want to hear.
He just called me beautiful.
They draw them in, talking to little girls, of course, and or youth girls. And,
I'm flattered though anyway.
And the LGBT left supporters
Yeah.
at the human trafficking, they had a time of question and answer and stuff, and so there's
Sure.
almost always a left-wing LGBT advocate saying,
Okay, so how about we talk about
shouldn't there
your
be prostitution be legal in this country?
Okay, so
Wouldn't that
let's
solve
talk about
everything?
You guys
That's their
went to the
approach.
Roseville school. One of the things that you were pointing out was the Roseville schools is apparently
He cut me off.
well because you're going to talk about the same thing. The Roseville schools.
I wasn't talking about the same thing.
Okay.
We have a moderator.
Well, we gotta spread it around a little bit. But that Roseville
Are you
schools is a
suck fuck
powerful
now?
thing. What?
I said, are you Zuck fuck now?
Oh my Zuck, yeah.
Oh, we can't talk about that because Zuck fuck.
No. But you guys went to the Roseville schools, and and Bruce spoke again, and then
There were a couple of good speakers. Yeah.
they had a couple of good speakers, and Bruce is pointing out how they're using somehow some kind of a method to have that one person cut you guys basically every time down at the very end.
Yeah.
So every single time, Bruce, just like I
she
kind of
always
cut
gets
Bruce
to go
off.
last. I don't know how she manages to do that.
Well, so it's a woman, isn't it?
Yeah.
So she somehow or another structures it so that all you guys, and she gets butthurt too apparently when you guys come after her, because that happened once or twice, and
Well, it's just you come after her position, not after her position.
yeah, but she literally
There's no personal
attacks
attacks.
you guys.
Huh?
She literally, you watch her speak. She literally gets up there and basically attacks what the previous speakers
Oh, yeah.
said.
Yeah.
And the thing is you're not supposed to attack anybody. You're supposed to be just talking about your position. But what she does is she wants to be the last person to speak, so she gets the last word in, and then what she'll do is she'll basically try to cut down all the previous people,
Yeah.
and that's kind of unfair. And so that last position should get rotated somehow. And Bruce is pointing out how he's physically there. He's physically there and making a point to be the last person signed up.
Yeah.
And nobody signed up after him, and yet this girl comes in and winds up being the last one every time.
Yeah.
And how is that even possible?
Yeah.
So that would be something to try to figure out. Is this person signing up online somehow? Or, is there some kind of shady business going on? Because Bruce puts out these powerful speeches like he was doing here a second ago.
Yeah.
And
who's
then-
the other guy that spoke here?
Alan.
Alan.
Oh, he's very
Alan did a really
articulate.
good job.
Yeah, and the other...
Alan's going to be running for school board in 2023.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
That guy that was speaking?
Yep.
For Roseville?
Yeah. He'll be really good.
Yeah, so, these guys are, they don't want you guys to talk. They want to cut you guys off. And you guys are giving these good speeches. And really, part of the reason why Diana and people like us show up at these school boards to record the speakers is in some of these schools,
They'll literally to cut you off.
they'll
You saw
literally
that happen
turn...
with Haskell.
They'll just turn the camera. Here you are, and we'll just say they won't even show it.
Yeah, Haskell came up to his 2 or 3 minute mark, wherever it is, where they cut him off, and they shut off his mic, and
I know, I saw that.
talking, which was good because he was recording himself, so it got out
The whole time, and I think he even had a microphone.
And he talked loud enough so that everybody in the room could hear him. And evidently, from what I gather, is the board was getting up and leaving the room, so they didn't want to listen to what he had to say because he wouldn't shut up. But that was good. He kept on talking, and it all got recorded because he was recording himself. And that's what we got to do,
That's what
Well,
we
one of
Can't
the
be silenced.
one of the things that the other team does all the time, like the ones who showed up in Prior Lake, and they've been showing up in Lakeville, they come in with their blowhorns and the whole deal.
Yeah.
And
well,
they
you can't take that into the school, I don't think.
yeah, they do.
Do they?
I got lots of videos of them doing that.
Oh, man.
But they go into the schools and they disrupt the schools. Our side generally doesn't do that. Our side generally tries to play with the rules, right?
Yeah.
And then we get all butthurt because they use the rules against us.
Yeah.
The other guys don't even follow the rules.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is some of these schools want to try to trespass you and stuff for violating their rules. But they never do anything against these guys who come in with 50 of them. They come storming in with all their blowhorns, or they go after and target the school, and they're outside the school like at Prior Lake, whipping up the students to the point where the students are going to attack the school. The good thing about these community people was they whipped up the students almost to the point where they're going to start breaking windows and stuff. The good news was they stopped them also. So there wasn't really any vandalism, I don't think. But they got the kids whipped up so much that the kids were going to do it. And that's what they do They do that all the time.
They got to be the heroes because they kept the kids from doing it.
But they were the ones who were inciting all the violence.
Yeah, they incite them and then they prevent them from doing the
And
they try to make themselves look like heroes.
Yep. They practice inciting all the time. You see them doing this mostly in the dark. You know, whenever there's any kind of a riot, they show up. And they're out there whipping up the crowd, trying to get the crowd to do stuff. And then the crowd people actually turn around and start doing stuff. Yeah. And then they don't stop it. So we've been seeing that in Minneapolis and the Twin Cities here for a long time, these people that are, and it's the same people. There's only a couple hundred of them that have been doing it.
Would anyone like to lead us in prayer for our day and our discussions?
Oh, we even have that.
Well, so usually it's Bruce.
I know.
Anyone
Usually
like
it's
to lead
Bruce.
us in prayer?
So somebody else?
No.
Usually it's Bruce, because most of the rest of us aren't so good at doing that.
We'll just say a short prayer for God's blessings upon our day and our discussions and our interactions.
I did ask Monsignor out in Washington, D.C. to do a prayer for me to the shrine out there. I asked him to help the people, to remove the people in government, to turn their hearts and make them follow God's laws. Follow God's laws now to fix the people that are in government. I can't remember how I said, but yeah, I did ask for that prayer to be done at the shrine out there in Washington, D.C.
Okay. So we got a few people still on, and there's we're at the Capitol, but we come out here every Saturday, so we got just a small number of us out here. So, and Bruce is going to lead a little prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for Diana and Robert and Cami and myself coming out in this cold weather, and Lord, we pray you'll warm our hearts and our relationships with one another and those who we talk to. And we pray you give us wisdom on what we share with one another and with others this day and whoever we encounter. And we ask for strategy too, that we can be used of you for good in our neighborhood, in our city, in our government, and our churches, and our families. And Lord, we pray you'll be with us wherever we go. We ask, Lord, that we walk in your love and in your ways. In Jesus' name we ask, amen.
Amen. You know, when we were down at the Capitol here about a year ago, it was on January.
I know what you're gonna say.
It was like we had, remember that? You remember there's, well, how many cameras have you guys got here? I'm like, we had like 100 cameras. There was cameras.
And there was like 4 people here?
Well,
you mean when the press came?
Part of the time it was just me and Becky. That was it. The 2 people.
Watching you guys
the 2 of us.
Comforts of my home.
And then they kept asking us, well, when are you guys going to pray? And we're like, well, we're praying right now. We're praying. And then Becky would lead a prayer, you know, or whatever. We were there 2 days in a row. The cops asked us to do that, you know, because they were going to, the bad guys wanted to attack the Capitol. Yeah. And they were wanting to do an inciting violence, the same kind of stuff that happened at the January 6th stuff. Yeah. And so we were out there, and you know, they were half of the people that were there watching us were members of the other team.
Oh yeah.
Pretending to be press and stuff, and they're all out there videoing us and stuff. And we were taking questions too for 4 hours. People would come over and start asking us questions, and you know, we do that here all the time too. They come and ask us questions and try to be gotcha, you know. they try to do gotcha stuff, you know. And the thing is, well, you know, Cammie's pretty good at handling gotcha questions, right? Most of us have got some practice of doing it. Part of the thing is, you know, if you're, you know, none of us are perfect, right?
Yeah.
I'm not perfect. Everybody's, we all got, right?
Weaknesses and tendencies.
We all got problems.
Yeah.
You know,
Issues.
we all got problems, and if they want to just be mudslingers or whatever, they can be mudslingers if that's what they want to do. But basically, if they want to come and have a substantive debate on any kind of subject, we don't. And the thing is, I'm always challenging them to do a debate, right? You know, and I don't like to have a single person debate so much. Although single person debates are good, I like to debate whole groups of them. I like to debate, you know, go to their main place and debate them on the hard subjects.
Yeah.
Because it's fun. For me, it's
interesting.
It's fun. So.
I wanted to talk about the border.
Oh.
There was a independent or semi-independent reporter that was, I can't remember who he was talking to, if it was Newsmax or Fox. It's probably one of the guys on Newsmax. He witnessed a whole bunch of them coming across the border, and usually what they do is they come across the border and then they wait for Border Patrol to pick them up, you know, because they want to turn themselves in. Well, this group, half of this group did not want to be picked up because, you know, obviously they're doing something that, you know, is pretty nefarious. But anyway, they went to this reporter and they offered him a 9-year-old girl if he would drive them to some destination inside our border. Yeah. And of course he refused, and they kept trying to persuade him. And then when they saw the Border Patrol coming, that group, of course, went back into Mexico because they didn't want to be apprehended. Whereas, you know, the other ones that are just coming here for asylum.
What happened to the 9-year-old girl?
Well, evidently she didn't go with the reporter.
No, so that got taken back with the bad guys.
Yep. So well, I don't even know if she was there with them. They offered her to him, but I don't know if she was physically there or not. I didn't hear that part. But
This is what we're talking about.
There is some really bad stuff happening, and they are just they're confiscating just beaucoup amounts, huge amounts of fentanyl that they're actually capturing at the border. So can you imagine how much is coming through that they're not catching?
Yeah.
If they're catching that much, how much is coming through? Because they're busy, you know, taking care of all these people they're pushing across the border to distract the Border Patrol, that so they can push their drugs and human trafficking through it where the Border Patrol isn't. It's the Border Patrol isn't doing any enforcement of the border at all. They're nothing. They can't. And that makes this administration an accomplice to human trafficking and drug trafficking.
Oh yeah, big time.
They need to be prosecuted for that.
Yeah.
They are negligent in their duties. They are not protecting the American citizen.
I would say impeach them even.
No, they need to do jail time.
Yep, prosecute them.
All of them.
Yeah, because, you know, victimizing children is like the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, this reporter, I mean, he was just, he had to get he went to get his story out because, you know, it was like, he just couldn't believe it. Well, yeah, he could believe it, but I mean, they were really trying to persuade him to take him in. They were going to give him this 9-year-old girl, you know, and it was just no big deal, just you know, what they do, you know?
Wow.
It's terrible what's going on down there. And all the, and in Texas, they're not having any problem getting land from the landowners down there to build their wall on and do what they have to do, the state is doing, because the landowners are donating their land, because that's how bad it is. They are just donating their land to the state to build a barrier to keep, because it's so bad down there. I mean, they can't even live in their own house on their own property without being armed to the teeth because they don't know who's coming up to their door, who's coming across their land.
Yeah.
They're destroying their watering places for their livestock. They're destroying all their property. Stealing cars, stealing vehicles.
Yeah.
Destroying vehicles, destroying any shed or outhouse, outbuildings that they have. They're just helping themselves to it.
That's pretty brazen to come in here as an illegal immigrant and then start doing vandalism.
What's the cartels?
Pretty brazen.
The cartels. And the cartels are armed a lot better than our people are.
They must feel pretty safe with their arms.
Have you seen the pictures of the
US.
cartels? They have all these Humvee vehicles, these up-armored vehicles, and these state-of-the-art automatic weapons. We are so outgunned.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is a war down there. They really do need to declare those cartels as
Enemy combatants?
not only enemy combatants, but terrorists.
Terrorists?
Oh, absolutely.
They are absolutely terrorists.
When you come in to this nation and start destroying people's property and assaulting people.
And they've been
They're not
encroaching
even
across the
legal.
border for years. They didn't just start this, but it's a lot worse now.
That's like war on U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
That's what we used to have to put up with the British back before the Revolutionary War. Come in and do
Well, that's why
damage to
our Bill of Rights, our Bill of Rights, the first, actually there was more of them than just those 10, but basically the entire Bill of Rights was essentially a list of grievances against the British. And these were the things that the British were literally doing to our people.
Yeah, they were just coming in and they were
quartering troops, and they were doing all that stuff.
Their troops and stuff like that. Yeah.
So we put that.
Feed them. Yeah.
We
they
put
burn their cities like the Antifa does.
Yeah, we put the Bill of Rights basically to establish you can't do that stuff. You can't quarter troops in people's houses. You can't do all that stuff. And
the judges would rule in the British's favor without impartiality, and so we didn't have a jury system then, I don't think, and so we established that our peers can make decisions.
People a lot of times when you start talking about the Constitution, people are like, well, we don't need that stuff because it wouldn't happen. The reason that stuff is there is because it did happen. That every one of those things was in there because it was happening and it was a problem. And then the only reason it's not a problem is because we have things like that. Because they would. You just think about it. If it was legal for the democracy for 6 people to decide what 4 people were going to do, just whenever that kind of came around, people would be doing it all the time. You might have 3 muggers come up to you and say that we're voting against you for you retaining your property, and the 3 of us are voting against you, and we're going to take it right now. And that would be democracy, right? And that's not right.
Yeah, we live in a constitutional republic.
Yep.
That each person's represented.
And property rights are.
We have property rights.
Yeah. So even one person, like let's just say Musk, we can't say because he's worth $190 billion that we're all going to take $1,000 off Musk.
Like Elizabeth Warren thinks she can do.
Yeah, Calls
him a freeloader. Calls him a freeloader. He employs thousands and thousands and thousands of people, and they're all paying taxes, and he's paying taxes, and she calls him a freeloader. If anybody's a freeloader, it's her.
Yeah, Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah, he's brought the car industry revitalize the car industry.
Well, the electric car industry, the one that they want. And they don't like Musk, and Musk is like the front runner in the entire electric car stuff. And why doesn't the Green New Deal people like Musk? Oh, they don't like him because he's a rich guy. Right? That's
they shouldn't like themselves.
Yeah, they're elites.
Yeah, exactly. how they judge, they're judging themselves because.
Well, you know, the
they
thing
have
is
millions.
Musk is making something that they want successful. You know, free markets and capitalism and stuff. Sometimes they can figure out.
They're butthurt because they're not getting a piece of the action.
Yeah. It wasn't their
they didn't
idea.
invest in stocks early enough.
It could be.
No, it's ridiculous. But something to know about electric vehicles
Why
is.
are we at half-mast today?
That's what I was wondering. Yeah, I know it was.
Cammy usually knows everything. How come?
No, I don't.
How come
I know
you don't
we
know?
were at half mast. I
know-
was going to ask you why we are.
Just something to be aware
What
of.
happened? What happened recently?
I thought maybe I missed something.
What happened?
But if you don't know about it, then
Somebody told me that it was the COVID. I don't know.
Nah, I don't think
The
so. Somebody
COVID.
died. Who died?
I don't know what the half. Somebody on Facebook might know.
Let's see, 98-year-old
Yeah, no, it was
Bob
half-
Dole died.
Bob Dole died.
That was what they told me last week was the
But that
deal.
was a while ago.
That was last week. Bob Dole was half-mast the country.
I think
that was.
I wonder if they prefer it half-mast
Yeah.
because they don't like what this nation stands for. But I'm just going to let you know that with electric vehicles, it takes twice as much energy to make an electric vehicle as it does a gasoline car.
Yeah.
Because if you look at all the mining of copper, nickel, lithium, and so forth that it takes,
Yeah.
the slave
And so-
labor too.
so we're going to need more oil and coal now in the coming years producing all these electric vehicles.
Yeah.
Just so we know. And then also for politicians like Senator John Marty, who's against mining in Minnesota, we're going to need to mine, do a lot of mining. Like the average electric vehicle is over 100
No, if
pounds
you're
of
mining in
copper.
China, it's
You're going to have to.
Yeah, because
Open up a lot of mining.
No, 'cause that's-
Africa.
that's a different planet.
Yeah,
We
China.
don't share the same atmosphere with the Chinese.
They don't have restrictions for emissions. And so if we're going to let China do all our mining and give them all the jobs
Well,
and
they
give
just
them
got
all
a whole
the
bunch
money,
of lithium in Afghanistan.
they're going to
available,
pollute
so.
the air like 100 times more than America would if it was doing the same operations because of our pretty strict environmental regulations in this country. I just wanted to let you know
Yeah.
that there's pluses and minuses as far as carbon, you know.
So how come Cammy doesn't talk? She doesn't talk.
I was listening right now.
Cammy's real quiet.
I was
So
listening.
was there
right
anything else you wanted to put in this week? No, Cammy, nothing significant.
No,
Any fun stuff happened this week or fun stuff coming up?
I don't know. They say that
Christmas is coming up.
after Christmas. Oh yeah, Christmas. Yeah,
Christmas is coming up, right?
Yeah,
That's pretty
Christmas.
cool.
yeah.
Any excitement coming up for Christmas?
I don't know.
No?
Present opening.
Present opening, okay.
Making food, making Christmas food.
caroling today or next week.
Yeah.
We're talking about
Yep.
doing Christmas caroling. We were out doing Christmas caroling last week, right? You did that? Remember that?
We didn't do Christmas caroling last week.
Sure we did, Saturday.
Didn't do it Saturday.
It was in the morning, right?
Oh, and
Yeah.
Planned Parenthood. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So did you talk about, we talked about that last week though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
so.
we did.
All right.
So we could do Christmas caroling today from 4:30 to 5:30, Governor's Mansion.
That sounds fun.
Or we could do it next Saturday, 4:30 to 5:30 on Christmas Day at the mansion.
So we do
You got
now.
a choice.
I think we do today.
Today?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it today. Today?
Okay.
Today, Diana?
Nah,
You'll warm up.
I don't think I'm going to stick around for that.
Oh
You
no,
could just
you're
come for
not.
a half an hour.
I got chores to do at home.
You could go home and come back at 4:30
Yeah.
So we're gonna go knocking on doors, singing caroling.
if you want to knock.
Oh.
That's fine.
Well, let's hope we can get some people to turn out, not just the three of us. So
Hey,
Who are we
as
gonna
long as
get
you
to
have
turn
3,
out?
that's fine.
that's fine, because Cammy can sing enough for all of us, right?
No.
No, Bruce can sing enough
Well,
for
we
all
better
of us.
practice.
Gonna practice a little bit.
Ooh, hey, we got music. There you go.
Yeah, but
I need the words.
I could tell you, we're not going to know all these really well.
Hey, you have the words. It's like all I need.
So
Which songs?
shall
Which
we
songs?
try the first
Somebody
Noel?
needs to play them on their phone. Oh gosh, no.
First Noel, shall we?
No.
Give it a try here. See how we do. This is tryouts. The first
Noel, the angels did say, was to certain poor shepherds in fields as they lay, in fields where they lay, keeping their sheep, on a cold winter's night that was so deep. Noel,
Noel,
Noel, Noel, born is the King of Israel. They looked up and saw a star. We're gonna really do a good job. We need more people.
No, we're fine.
And to the
It
gave great light,
and so it continued both day and night. Noel, 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 born is the King of Israel,
and by the light of that
don't quit your day job.
star,
Don't quit your day job.
wise men came from the country afar.
We're terrible.
And to follow the
How many
star.
people are dropping off?
We've been down to zero for a while.
Noel, Noel.
We can do better. We can figure it out.
Noel, Noel.
As long as you have the words.
I got my
over.
speaker. We could get the speaker going. So I could get my. You have a.
Hey, how about a heater? Would Walls Cape had a heater there on the sidewalk?
No, we'd have to. I think we'd want to go door to door a little bit.
Well, if we can learn one song, we can just keep singing that over and
Hey,
over.
there you go.
But we got to learn one song, guys.
I got my speaker.
Hey,
I
we
could-
got the
I could-
words here. This is all I needed.
I could bring my speaker and I can play the speaker, and the speaker is just loud.
But you can see it's not easy because you have one word, and you know it may be 2 beats, it may be 3 beats. That word, it may be 1 beat.
So,
And so you do
Cammy,
3 beats,
have
you
you
do
got
2, I do 1.
have you got a Bluetooth? You know, remember?
That, you were there when we went to the Burger Federal Building.
Yeah.
Those 3 priests that were singing, they sung really well.
Wow.
We need them.
So we need people to turn out. We need people to turn out for our caroling.
So today at 4:30 at the mansion, we're going to Christmas carol. So anyone that wants to come to Christmas caroling at the mansion, 4:30.
And it'd be good. I think I
It's
can
going
go.
to be getting dark then.
That's what we want.
That's what they want to go at.
no.
They don't want
The
to go there
mansion
every day.
looks pretty in the dark. The
It
mansion
looks way better.
beautiful in the
Way
dark.
better in the dark.
Oh my God! Everything is like lit up. I got
But you
photos
guys-
because when I was coming to that vigil, I stopped at the mansion. I got some
It's
pictures.
way better in the
It
dark.
looks so pretty when it's all lit up.
And I can run that speaker, and that speaker is loud. I can go nuts on that speaker. I could have their windows vibrating, you know, with
I'll
the
take
speakers.
hers.
Here's yours, Diana.
What is it?
That's
chocolate?
85% dark chocolate.
Oh,
You know
Pure
what that
cocoa.
means?
Good for you.
Yeah, it is good for you. Your guys comes later.
Oh man!
Why?
Because she's going to be going.
Yeah, I gotta go.
So I want her to have.
Oh, I thought Bruce was just being like, oh yeah, we're
I'm
not
the
gonna.
favorite.
No, you all get.
I'm the favorite. I
I'll
know
get
it. I'm
one.
the favorite.
I brought a Bible. If anyone needs a Bible, it's
Brand new.
It's brand new. It's fairly lightweight and fairly big print. It's the biggest print, lightest weight Bible I could find.
Oh, okay.
So I hand them out at nursing homes.
Sure. And you get them for free
Different
from
ones.
school or from?
No, I just buy them online.
Oh, how much are they?
This one here is only $6.99. What a bargain!
Yeah.
And so, does anyone need a Bible for every day?
Nope, I
I
still
got
have
mine.
mine. That one Catholic one I got.
To
I'm not
carry
giving
around?
that up.
Okay.
That I will never. I was like, that's it. Yeah, I
Okay.
keep that.
My Bible is really big print. I'm using my mom's now. because I lost mine.
How'd you lose it?
What?
I lost my Bible. Can you believe
The
it?
Bible?
It's either in my house somewhere amongst the piles, camouflage.
That I understand.
I've been in Bruce's house,
I get it, Jen.
and basically Bruce's house's filing system
It's on the carpeting.
is on the carpeting, and you have to figure out the position and the depth.
So what's wrong with that?
So the whole
Look at the
house has got
size of
piles. He had piles of papers
of it.
everywhere in the
That's
whole
good.
house.
That's
I like that.
That's
nice.
my mom's Bible.
Mom's Bible.
She's in heaven,
Yeah.
and so I'm sure she wouldn't mind me using her Bible.
No, she
No, I
wouldn't.
don't
No.
think
So
so.
I've been using it.
Yeah.
So, but you're gonna need a flashlight or a
We get
headlamp
our chocolate
if
later.
we're gonna be singing
Wow.
at night to see
She's
the
lucky.
words.
She got hers now.
I got
What?
some.
I said you got your chocolate now.
Get your-
We have to wait.
But you,
That's because I'm the favorite.
I bet you growing up, Diana was always the favorite
I
one.
was.
Yeah.
Well, my dad's favorite anyway.
everyone's watching out for Diana.
Yeah.
I walked
I was
through
the
her
middle
car
child.
after the school board meeting,
Yeah.
made sure there was no icy spots,
Yeah.
and that she was safe. So,
Well, I was my grandma's.
So what we want,
Right hand girl.
we're gonna.
She always hung on to me to go up the steps to go into.
We would like
Ah.
people to have preferably non-copyrighted, so we could actually play it on the internet without getting busted. Non-copyrighted audio tracks would be good, or music, so we could play that. Because I could run that over over the speaker. The problem is, like at Lulu's, all that stuff was copyrighted.
Yeah, so you
and
have to keep repeating that all the
And it
time.
was so loud. It was so loud
Yeah.
that we couldn't because they don't apparently.
They didn't bother my video at all, but I kept repeating, that I didn't have copyrights.
I think the problem was if you look at where they were tagging my stuff, it was where we weren't talking.
Where you weren't talking.
I literally said that a whole bunch of times, but I was running live almost the whole time, and there were sections of it that were fairly quiet. There was no talk.
I was either talking, or if there wasn't anybody I was talking or anything I was talking about, then I was saying that copyright thing.
Yeah, because if you've got a segment of the video that's like 30 seconds where it's just playing music,
Yeah.
you get busted for sure.
Yeah.
I know,
I
wow.
probably did have sections that were like that, but then I wake up and say, "Oh, yeah. By the way, Facebook,
I think you
I do
need
not
to.
have any rights."
I don't like to provide color commentary, but when there's copyright music going, I think you have to keep talking.
I think you have to just keep talking.
And
Yeah.
I don't like. Personally, I prefer to just not talk at all.
Yeah, me too.
Because the videos, I always kick myself whenever I get a good video and I go
Yeah,
I just kick myself.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like,
Oh,
why
I know, right?
why
Like,
the hell did I make a stupid comment like that?
I always hate it when I laugh, because I have that funny laugh and I don't like it.
Because you can add sound, but you can't take it off very easy. I can probably get it off if I wanted to bad enough, but
Yeah.
so you guys up to reading a chapter of the Bible? Each take some, go around.
a whole chapter,
I think I'm
A
gonna.
whole
I think I'm
chapter?
gonna head out.
whole
Yeah.
chapter.
Yeah, we can read. My devotion this morning was 1 John chapter
We'll see ya.
4.
Yeah,
See ya.
because the chapters are pretty long.
And I think you would relate to this because it talks about false prophets and true prophets, and false messengers of God and true, and being with all different types of groups of people. You
Yeah.
probably have some discernment on this,
It was a heater.
but this will
It's cold.
show us about
I didn't put it in the car
8
Damn it.
because
areas.
it's pretty warm.
This will
Yeah.
show us about 8 areas
It's
or so.
it's
that
actually
describe what a
dangerous
false
to have it in my
prophet is.
car because it's a
Oh.
propane cylinder.
Oh.
If I got in a car accident with the cylinder, it could be dangerous.
could
Oh.
blow up,
It could be bad,
let
So,
out gas and
but
catch on fire.
but I can throw it in the car for tonight, But we don't want to carry it around though because it's awkward.
Okay, yeah.
If we're stationary, we could do that. But
Or do you want to read it at the governor's mansion?
we could do that, Governor. We should probably move over there. If we're gonna come back for 4:30, I'd probably go home and grab my stuff.
Yeah.
So
No,
we'd probably roll up quick
we could just go to the governor's mansion now for a half an hour
and then come back at.
and then come back at 4:30.
Yeah.
So do you have any like playlists of Christmas music that would be good for sound?
No.
I'm not very familiar with
No?
with running Bluetooth to my speaker. At Lulu's, we were running Bluetooth to the speaker with playlists. I don't normally do that. I usually use aux cord. You know.
I have Wi-Fi on my iPad, so I don't think I can help you
Oh.
unless
I
the
can
governor's mansion's got Wi-Fi and I can break in.
You're not going to
You
break
borrow
in.
their Wi-Fi.
Break into the Wi-Fi.
Break in, yeah. All right, let's go. Just cheers. I always have a hard time getting out of it.
So now I'll give you the chocolate after it's warmed up in my car. See?
When it's melted.
See? That's doing you a favor, my lady.
Okay.
On the governor's mansion we go.
We'll be quick about it, and then so we're basically doing a double event at the governor's.
Yeah. Well, I could watch it too.
Well,
Oh.
I definitely got to play You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch.